And one of the articles got sort of semi-viral. This was during the Blocksize Wars. There's an article about how to actually take control of your private keys.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of talk about that. Like if you're gonna, when the Bitcoin Cash fork happened, like in the months leading up to that, a lot of Bitcoiners were saying like you should sell the fork as soon as it happens. And in order to do that, you needed control over your Bitcoin and not just have them on a custodial wallet.
Yes.
So I needed to figure that out for myself. And then I wrote an article about it. And that got a lot of attention.
So when the block size wars were taking place, did you already have an understanding that by increasing the block size, you would decrease security by making it harder to run a node? Yeah, like, that was very clear.
In my opinion, the war was never about block size, but always about control. And I followed this, like I was intrigued by it and like hypnotized by it. Like, what is this thing? And I saw then the New York agreement when that whole thing happened. Like the biggest companies in Bitcoin all colluded together to do first implement SegWit as a soft fork and then increase the block size to 2 megabytes per block instead of 1. Like double the block size.
Yep.
But that never happened because the users, the node runners, said no. They all signaled that we're not going to do this. And then a couple of miners started signaling that too, and then all the other miners followed suit and like, no, we're not going to do this.
So this was obvious to you, and you were paying attention when it was happening.
Yeah. And it's so cool to see how things have developed after. I mean, BTC Pay Server was one of the big things that happened. Before that, there was a service called BitPay, which was super centralized, and that was one of the companies that wanted the block size increase.
Okay.
Because they wanted control.
Yeah.
Because eventually, if you set the precedent in Bitcoin for doing a hard fork or for increasing the block size or whatever, then what's to stop that from happening over and over again?
Good point.
And that's that kind of logic. Like I just saw that because it was the same for me with the shit coins. I never shit coined. Because what intrigued me about Bitcoin in the first place was that here was this thing that couldn't be copied on the internet. And how the hell did that work? Like, and it still blows my mind that there's a thing that cannot be copied. Later down the line, I figured out that the reason it can't be copied is because it's not on the internet, but it's in your head.
Yes.
But we can get into the depths of that later. But anyway, I saw this dangerous path with setting the precedent for increasing it again. And then when that didn't happen, despite all the money wanting it to happen, like all the big companies wanting it to happen, I realized that, holy shit, this is actually working. It actually is. It is as decentralized as the people promoting it is saying it is. Yeah. So my sort of belief in Bitcoin became ironclad at that point.
That's incredible. Yeah, I discovered Bitcoin in 2017 in December, right at like the peak. Yeah. And I met somebody who was like, kind of explaining how big of a deal it was. I had heard about Bitcoin, but I had my, head down. I was working really hard. It was a month before I received my license from the state of California for my cannabis farm.
Oh, yeah.
And in some sense, I was very fortunate that I was like pretty much broke at the time. All of my money was tied up in this business, and I had spent a bunch of money on attorneys and regulators, engineers to like go through the process. And so when I discovered Bitcoin, I remember like that first day, I had like $500 or $1,000 extra dollars. And I get onto Coinbase and there's Bitcoin Cash, and then all this other garbage. And I'm looking at these charts and I'm looking at the volatility. I'm like, okay, you could trade this thing. I was like, I can't trade any of this stuff. Like, I don't have time to pay attention to any of this. So I find it to be very fascinating when I talk to people who understood Bitcoin and then were able to like not get sucked into the shitcoin siren call.
Yeah, because that was that call was loud. I mean, there were so many people like thinking that trading these things between one another was the thing. Like that was being promoted hard by shitcoiners and shitcoin apologists, and still is to this day, I'd say. Yeah, and there are still people that fall for it. But yeah, it's not entirely true that I never shitcoined. I put the enormous amount of $10 into shitcoins.
I love it.
$1 into each 10 separate shitcoins.
Yep.
8 of them lost money and 2 made money. So on the whole, I lost money. I was looking at the screen and like, I'm never going to figure out which of these shitty things is going up. And I don't have any insider information. I don't know this shit.
Yeah.
So like, no, it's Bitcoin. Like, it's obvious. Like, just stick to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was fortunate by the time, so when I discovered Bitcoin, that really reframed my perspective on the world, like for so many of us. It was the catalyst to cause me to sell my business, which took me a year because cannabis farms aren't very liquid. So I had like, it was like a whole thing. And by the time I did, it was 2 things. One, Bitcoin made sense to me. The rest of it, I couldn't understand. Somebody was trying to explain to me the value proposition for Ethereum. And even to this day, and maybe I'm just so jaded or I'm like such a hardcore laser-eyed maxi that there's maybe just some cognitive dissonance. I refuse to accept the idea that there is value in this, but I still can't wrap my mind around any of it. It's like, you know, Robert talks about this. They're like, it's innovation theater. I don't know what problem any of these blockchains are solving.
No, they're scams.
Yeah.
I truly believe that like anyone who says that 99% of them are scams is a scammer.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you go full? Why don't you say 100? Like, why do you leave room for 1 or 2? Like,
that's
it's because you probably have a vested interest somewhere.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis, but I've never heard of a Solana maxi. I don't know anybody who's got 100%, any crypto person that has a 100% allocation to anything other than Bitcoin.
Well, the Bitcoin Cash people, I guess.
Yeah, but even then, like we were just talking about Roger Ver earlier, he popped up because it's just like, oh man, what a wild individual he is.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate too much, but I think there's a chance that he lied to himself and that he like kept doubling down. I mean, there are psychological traps to fall into in this whole thing when you like refuse to take your ego out of the equation and take a step back and like learn your lesson.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, there are still things to this day that aren't super clear, like the whole operator debate.
Yes.
It's not like super easy to know what side to be on in that.
I'm with you on that one.
Because the problem is clear. Like, this is spam. Everyone thinks it's shit, and that it's if we can do anything to prevent it, we should.
Yeah.
But there's also like some people are saying, no, we can't prevent it. All we can do is make it easier for them to do it in a way that is less destructive. And the other side is saying, no, we should try to prevent it as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'm on that side, by the way, if I'm taking a side in it. And I think it's a very good thing. Like, even if this plays out in a way that I wouldn't prefer, I still think it's very good for Bitcoin to have these internal things, because it's educating people just to be forced to thinking in other ways and to like pick a side if you want, and to like learn about it. Forces people to learn more, and that's always good.
Yeah. For me personally, I guess, and maybe this is like a fear-based perspective, which I really tried to avoid, but I'm like, can we just not mess it up? Like, this is so important. I mean, we have bombs flying around like recently. Like, can we just not fuck this up? Yeah.
But like, I think there's a discrepancy. Like, there's people who know computers and programming and software. And then there's people who know money. And the Venn diagram, like you want the Bitcoiners to have be in the middle of that Venn diagram, right?
Yeah.
But some of the computer people aren't, and some of the money people aren't, because some of the computer people don't really understand that money needs to be money only and nothing else, first and foremost. And some of the money people don't understand that Bitcoin is like a shared database. You can put whatever data you want into it. Like, it's not that simple to just steer it into whatever direction you want. Like, there are other forces at play here. And I find the whole thing endlessly fascinating still.
Yes.
The thing I'd like to say, like maybe a perspective that isn't discussed very much, is like, one of the problems Bitcoin solves is right now, real estate is being used as a store of value.
Yep.
And when it is, real estate becomes a worse. The main function of real estate, housing human beings, it becomes worse at that.
Yes.
Because the billionaires buy up all the beachfront property, and then the little guy can't get in, can't buy his own home.
Right.
But the same is true for money. If money is all of a sudden clogged with stupid monkey JPEG pictures and idiot tokens,
right,
then its functionality as a medium of exchange is reduced.
That's a very good point.
So that's why we need to take the fight for money to be money, and Bitcoin is the best money humanity has ever seen by far.
Orders of magnitude.
Orders of magnitude. So, and not ordinals of magnitude. So, like that's why.
Not
that's
ordinals. God,
so that's why we should. Anyone with that sees the true potential of Bitcoin should be at least engaged in this fight. No matter what side you choose to pick, this should concern you. Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel about that. By the way, I think the whole dichotomy between store value and medium of exchange is false. It's the wrong way to look at it. I think money is a medium of exchange over time and space. So it's a 4-dimensional medium of exchange. It's a medium of exchange over space when you trade with your friends, or not with your friends, because you don't need to trade with your friends. You can just I'm off on a tangent as usual.
I love it.
That's why KYC is bullshit, because money allows you to trade with people you don't trust. Yeah. So it's a medium of exchange over space when you trade with other people, a medium of exchange over time when you trade with your future self. So that's what saving is. It's trading with your future self.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to find more just like it, and here to find our most recent episode. Also, make sure to like this video to help shine light on the corruption of money, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected.